Hello. Well, I'm jumping on to show you that I'm getting jump started for the Perfectly Imperfect Challenge, Slow Stitch Challenge for 2024 here at Icky Chic Designs. We're going to be making an 8 by 11 inch slow stitch book, and I am so excited about this project. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time. I've decided to make my theme for my book the things that I make, the prototypes that I make for my Etsy shop kits. Often I make the prototype so that I can show what it looks like, and then they get set on a shelf. And I didn't really want to sell them or anything. I wanted to keep them, but I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do with them? I didn't want to frame every one of them, so I've decided that the theme of this book of mine is going to be prototypes. I'm going to fill it with the things that I make as prototypes for my Etsy shop kits. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun doing that because all these kits are different colors and things like that, and a lot of them are florals and some are landscapes. So I think it'd be a fun project for this book. Now, jump starting here, I've got some of my pages cut already. These are cut 11 inches tall and 14 inches in width, because when I fold those over to make my book, then it will become the right size for my 8 by 11 inch book. Now I say that 9 by 11, excuse me. I say that size, but really you can do any size you want. But to be a coffee table book, it needs to be a substantial size, not a little tiny book, not an 8 by 8 or something like that. The size book that a lot of people make junk journals in, like 6 by 9s, that might be okay, but it needs to be a little bigger than that to be a coffee table book. But having said that, you can really make any size that you feel comfortable with. I'm just saying that size because that size and bigger would be a nice coffee table book. It would be a substantial piece of fabric art sitting on that table. Excuse me for shaking the camera. And and it also gives you a bigger palette to play with. And I think that's important when you really want to really make a splash on something. And so I just wanted to put that out there that you don't have to make the exact size. Okay. Now, I say I'm jump starting because I'm getting some of my fabrics cut. This is just a sheeting, old sheet, and I'm using that as my background piece to put my artwork on, and then I will be stitching it. Okay. So I decided to work on the open layout for my first signature. And I'm hoping to get more than 12 sides in, more than one signature into this book this year, but I'm not promising that. But so I say my first signature, I started to lay out my open. Let me show you what I mean by that. This is one signature book that I just used to demonstrate things with, but it has one signature of paper. There are 15 sheets in here. So when you open it up, it has a center spread. Let me find the center here. This is where it opens up. This is where your pamphlet stitch goes to secure this book. So this open spread is really a focal point. When you open one up and you get an entire spread across the sheet of one theme, it really makes an impact. every signature, if you put like a 3-page signature that has 12 sides in it, and let's say you put 3 of those in a book, a good-sized book, then you will have 3 of these open centers, and you can put a full spread across that. Everything else is, you can work it out to where it makes a full spread, but you have to realize that you're working on the back half of this sheet and the front half of the next sheet. So that gets a little complicated. But if you decide to do one signature, you could definitely have one full spread. And if you do more than that, more than that. And if you're really smart and can figure out all this back front stuff, you can actually have more than one full spread in a book, okay? Now, like I said, I've been cutting my pieces for my book, and then I went ahead and laid out, starting to lay out my first center spread. Okay. As I said, I'm using prototypes that I've made for kits in my Etsy shop, and this was one of them. And I just love that, and I want to continue the fall colors throughout this spread. I've simply laid them on, no stitching yet, no embellishing, just getting a palette there to work with. This gauzy fabric down here. Now, when I start working on stitching on this, then I will decide, you know, how do I want to embroider this? What kind of stitches do I want? What kind of embellishments? What do I want to add more? What little features do I want to put in here? Do I want a little pocket? Do I want a little open window? What kind of things do I want to embellish this page with? What you're looking at is simply a background. It's simply a base to work on. That's in the color tones that plays right into this landscape. The landscape, I won't be doing anything else on. I will be just working on this side of this. When I get done with this, then I will lay out another piece of sheeting, and I will make another spread. Then I will probably do 2 separate sides of different things, and then that will go onto the back side of this, and then that will be sewed together. And then when we fold these up, we will have something on both of those pages and open to a full spread on the inside. Hope you're getting the sense of this. It's simply a book format, and there are tons of videos on how to do a book format, especially looking under the junk journal information. So it's not difficult. Decide what you need, what size you need to go into the size book you're going to make. And that's what you'll be working on. That's your base piece size that you'll be working on, this sheeting or whatever you choose to work on, okay? All right, I just wanted to show you, I'm jump starting. So I already had these fabrics laid out, so now's a good time to start maybe gathering your color palettes, deciding if you're like me and you want to use some of your slow stitch art that you've already done. Well, get that out and start coordinating what you have, seeing what you might need, and start kind of formulating your, excuse me just a minute, let me get a sip of coffee here. Doesn't that look good? Got a frog in my throat. That way it will make it easier to really get jump started into this challenge in January. Over the winter is a wonderful time. Don't waste the months of December through April, especially in the U.S. here, North America, because we're shut in a lot with weather, and we can really get a jump start on this book. Once spring hits and summer comes, we seem to have less time for stitching. So devote your winter hours and really get jump started on this challenge, and you won't have any trouble completing it in 2024. As you can see the size of this, the stitching is going to take some time. The embellishing is going to take some thought and time, especially if you don't start with something that's already finished. If I had to do this entire page, it would take me a lot of time. So that's just up to you. If you're a slow stitcher already, if you're a cross stitcher, if you have any type of needle art that you want to incorporate in your book, that would just be wonderful. I mean, use it. Absolutely use it. If you do quilting, things like that, and you have a quilting piece that you want to focus on, and then do your slow stitching around that and embellishment around that, however you want to do this book. It's a slow stitch book in the sense that I'm going to be doing, and I know a lot of you will be doing, a lot of embroidery work and stitching, hand stitching work on it. And that's going to be the fun of it, okay? But it doesn't mean you can't incorporate something else in there, okay? This is entirely a slow stitch piece right here. And I just love it. I love the colors. And so I was so happy that I had this already because it really worked out well. I've got gauzy, I've got gathered fabric here. I've got some fancy stitching through here already. I have some upholstery fabric, more gauze with the little fringe on here. So I've got a bunch of different textures in here. And when I finish with this, it would be a wonderful book, a page when somebody opens it up, for them just to sit there and just let their eyes meander over all the different little elements they can find in this page. Okay, so get excited about this challenge. Start prepping, start pulling your things together so that you're not at the last minute. It doesn't hurt to prep a page and put it on the shelf. If you have nothing but just some fabric selections that you're thinking about using, prep a page, get them pinned on to your background. When you have a little time, you can pull it out and it'll jumpstart your imagination because you got something on it already. But so just get yourself started. Okay, that's all for this video. Let's get to thinking about this challenge, okay? And spread the word. We want a lot of people working on this with us so that we can get a lot of fun inspiration from everybody. Don't forget to use your hashtag when you are uploading videos about this project, and that'll help us to be able to find you, okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.